الصور التي تتابعونها هي صور آثار الدمار الذي حل بعد القصف الإيراني على باتيا.
They told you Israel's missile defense is the best in the world. They told you Iron Dome stops everything. They told you the sirens always go off in time. They told you the shelters are safe. Last night, an elderly couple in their 70s were asleep in their apartment in Ramat Gan, a quiet suburb just east of Tel Aviv. The sirens went off. They couldn't reach the shelter in time. A missile carrying a cluster warhead penetrated the roof of their building. It exploded in the center of their living room. They were killed instantly. And this morning, mainstream media is covering it in 3 sentences. This video is the full story. The missiles hitting Israel right now, how they work, and why defenses are struggling to stop them. The story being hidden from you with silence, with short articles, with numbers without faces. Technical language making mass violence sound like an engineering problem. My name is on this channel, and I am going to tell you what is actually happening. Let us start from the very beginning. On February 28th, when Operation Epic Fury and Roaring Lion launched, the IRGC activated its missile and drone arsenal and began firing at Israel. Not one missile, not 10, dozens, then hundreds, in coordinated waves. Each wave announced by the IRGC on social media before impacts were confirmed. The first wave sent sirens across Tel Aviv, Haifa, Beersheba. Ben Gurion Airport was closed. Passengers sat as intercept explosions lit up the sky. Between February 28th and March 4th, the ACLED recorded more than 90 attempted Iranian strikes. Around 20 directly hit civilian areas. Iran fired more at Israel in 5 days of this war than in 12 days of the last one. That is the scale. On March 1st, an Iranian ballistic missile struck a residential neighborhood in Beit Shemesh. It is not a military target. It is a city of families. The missile hit a shelter inside a synagogue. 9 civilians were killed. The reinforced safe room was hit directly. 2 interceptors failed to stop it. It is a weapon called a cluster munition warhead. Here is what it does. I want to explain this clearly. At high altitude, the warhead opens. It releases dozens of smaller bombs called bomblets. They scatter across an area of 7 to 8 miles. Now the air defense system is facing dozens of small, fast-falling objects simultaneously. Iron Dome can intercept them, but there are too many. Missile expert Tal Inbar explained it plainly. It's a mechanism to bypass active missile defense. Even partial success leaves bomblets falling on civilian neighborhoods. About half of all ballistic missiles Iran has fired during this war have been equipped with cluster munitions. 1 in every 2 missiles. Iranian state TV confirmed the Ramat Gan barrage was retaliation for the killing of Ali Larijani. They used cluster missiles deliberately in a populated suburb. Now, let us go deep into the specific missiles. The first category is the older liquid-fueled missiles, Shahab-3, Emad, and Ghadar. The Emad and Ghadar have maneuverable re-entry vehicles. They make small adjustments before impact, making them harder to intercept. The second category is newer. Kibar Shakan, Haj Qasem, Fatah-1. These are modern solid-fuel missiles, specifically engineered to defeat defense systems. The Fatah-1 is called hypersonic. Its terminal speed is Mach 13 to 15. That is 15 times the speed of sound. It can potentially dodge interceptors. And then there is the missile that changed everything on Sunday. The Sejjil. It is 18 meters long, longer than 2 school buses. Its launch weight is 23.5 tons. 5 times heavier than the Fatah-1. The Sejjil-2 can carry an MIRV payload. Multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles. 1 missile delivering multiple warheads to separate targets simultaneously. When the Sejjil-2 launched on Sunday, sirens sounded in 141 locations, simultaneously. Iran wanted Israel to understand it had escalated. Let us talk about what is happening inside Israel. The sirens themselves give approximately 90 seconds for people to reach a shelter. The elderly couple in Ramat Gan could not reach their space in time. The sirens sounded, they were in their living room. Impact happened instantly. Every time Israel fires a THAAD interceptor, it costs $12 million. Iron Dome costs $50,000 to $150,000 per shot. The Iranian missile costs somewhere between 300,000 and 2 million. For every million Iran spends, Israel and the US spend 4 to 12. Liar, who lives near the impact, said, "I heard an explosion. I saw everything collapsing around me. It was the scariest thing in my life." The war is 18 days old. The missile campaign is not slowing down. Somewhere in Tel Aviv tonight, a siren is about to sound. Subscribe to follow this story. Share this video if you think the world deserves to know the full truth. Pay attention.